And we should be back now. Once again, we're going to do a reading of Unity, of Balance and Chaos, Year of Death. For the informational purposes, that I might share details of the backstory behind this larger story without having to use my own. Let's see what happens. This looks pretty weird. The story is called Unoty, of Balance and Chaos. The pre-story is called The Year of Death. In this story, we follow the paths of 6 warriors who must take over the legacy. I can just start it. What's the story of this world? So, there were 2 gods. One was called Balance, and the other was called Chaos. Originally, there was just balance, and then he thought, how can it be balanced if there's nothing to balance balance? And then Chaos's eye opened amongst the gray endlessness of space and started to create many things. And Balance was like, whoa, that's so many things. I gotta organize those things because I am Balance, and Balance is OCD. So, after Chaos had created many things, he disappeared for a long time. When he returned, he had created the Earth. This planet he had put his lifeblood into and had created it to be a very great thing. On this Earth, he created the sun to warm the living creatures that don it. But Balance was like, you can't just have the sun. You gotta have the moon so those creatures can rest from viewing your magnificent creation. And then he's like, I'm gonna create the sky, otherwise... No, wait, that's the, Okay, so I guess we're just talking about the powers. The sky, which represents cold, and the center of the earth, which represents warmth. And then we have the trees of life and death. So, behind that whole thing, Chaos only wanted the 3 good ones. He's like, I want life to live on my planet. I want warmth to keep them warm. And I want light so they can see everything. And Balance was like, no, they gotta die, and they gotta not see stuff so they can sleep, and it's gotta get cold sometimes. And he was like, damn it, fine. So, anyway, he had all this stuff, and it basically, where's the part where he creates man? God damn it, this story is so incomplete. So, at one point, Chaos wants a creature that can experience Earth as he, the creator, experiences it, and from his eye bursts forth the human with 2 halves of the brain. And this whole duality thing. Let's keep going. So, anyway, the people, after hundreds of years, they enjoy the Earth, and then they start having wars. And Balance is like, this is sweet, man. Organized warfare is so organized and shit. And Chaos is like, no, damn it. They shouldn't be having fights. They should be living on my planet and liking it. So now I'm going to take all your goddamn stuff away and turn it into monsters that... So now there's like the sun. There's no sun in the sky, but there's this big old bright dog going, I'm a big old bright dog, and blinding people. And then there's a big fire dragon, like, I'm just gonna burn everything, and that was the end of the world. So Balance is all like, this is not a good idea. And then Chaos is like, infinity. And then Balance is like, oh, damn it, I have to balance infinity. Or Pringle. Okay, so when Balance got stuck, just running on this giant loop trying to balance infinity, it's all very visually metaphorical. He created 6 warriors with the 6 powers of the earth, which were no longer in the earth. They were now on the earth as beasts. And so he created these 6 warriors to fight their counterparting... God, this is too many words. The sun one, whose name was Solix. The life one, whose name was Emo, and it's a guy. The Phoenix. I guess that's how you say it. Warmth one. And then there's Cryonic, the cold one. And those 2, I can't point at the screen right now, but those 2 in the middle are brother and sister. And then there's Necros, the death girl, and Lunar, who's the night guy. Okay, so the whole thing is, she was the death girl, and what the hell? This just jumped way ahead. Oh god, I don't know what my back button is. Okay, so she's the death girl, and she's all like, "Why the hell is life a guy, man? I'm a chick. I got the womb. I should be life. I hate life because I'm death, and everybody hates me, and it means it's the end of their life and everything." And so this guy with the gray hair was the brother of the dude who became the moon guy, Lunar. Lunar. Let me say that 5 more times. And he was all like, "I'm the most devout guy. I love balance. My hair's the grayest. I love this guy." And then the Aloof brothers like, "Nerd, whatever." And then the Aloof brothers like gets the gift of being one of Balance's warriors. And this guy's like, "What the? I don't agree with those." And so he's like, "Hey, Death Girl, I think you're pretty. I'm gonna marry you and use you to take over the world." Okay, so I guess this is what I basically said. They love that guy. They don't like death. She can make babies. Why is she not alive? Sad. Here's the 3 brothers. Lunar was that one. Lunix, Guth, and Danathan. Who the hell knows what happened to Danathan? But he became that. Danathan's like, "Hey, great brother. Yeah, one of us." And he's like, "God, what's fire?" So he's like, "I hate you." And he's like, "Oh, I'm not special and you're hated. Let's become a copy and rule the world." And so that crow actually happens to be the Death Beast, which... when it's all giant, I think it's like this giant blobby whale of flesh and boils and pus and stuff like that. But every beast has a duality in itself, so that becomes the crow. The crazy life blob dripping goddess of life becomes a butterfly, and there's all that sort of stuff going on. So this is them, and you could make some analogies to the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost or something like that, or the Trinity, some sort of Trinity, whatever. Okay, so we have the brother and the sister, and they fight all the time. "Hey, I'm negotiating here," and so he's like, "Oh yeah." So basically, he's like, "I'm ready to go fight my beast," and she's like, "You should practice more. You're not that great." And he's like, "No, I'm ready," and he goes and dies because of his cold pride. Rawr! So now there's the life guy, and he's like, "I'm ready to go. I'm kill my beast. I've trained, but I'm a simple soul, but I think I can do this." And he goes there, and they're like, "No, we're going to kill you altogether." Okay, so then we have the fire girl, and she's all sad because her brother's dead. But she's like, she's all cool. She's like, "I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to fight my ice guy." And she fights him, and bam, he's dead. And she's like, "Well, I'm just such a go-getter. I'm going to go find where my brother died and pick up his sword and do that shit." And she's like, "No, I'm going to kill everybody so they can't do what they're supposed to do. This is how you take over the world." That lizard was the smaller. Anyway, Solix, she's the one of the sun. And the cool thing is, this is so cool, by the way, is that because everyone thinks the sun is the one true power, they regard her as the one true god on this earth at this point. And she goes ahead and raises a whole sun army, and she goes and fights her creature, which happens to be the weakest of the 6 power beasts. It happens to be the golden cat, which turns into a monster of shadow, but the whole idea behind it is that it's all illusion, so it's not actually that tough. Whereas the dog of light becomes a slightly poofier dog of light, but it's fast as hell, and it's all about truth, and I think its secret power is to make you see truths in your brain. But I'm not sure about that yet, so don't get me on that. The whole point of this image we're looking at here, she's like, "I'm going to come kill you," and she's like, "I got a whole army, you're not getting in here." So the guy... Okay, step back. Lunar has created something called the Darkness Cloak. When you wear it, it makes the user think you're someone they want to see, so you can sneak into enemy bases, and they think, "Oh, he's just a commoner, or he's just a rich guy hanging out." They just see you as another face in the crowd that they'd like to see. This guy, that's his brother. What the hell was it? Gothics? That works. He takes that, and he goes and uses it to just walk right into the place and stab her. So while she's sitting in her throne, he's all, "Oh, I'm just a regular guy who cleans the floor." Stab. Okay, so now we're on to Lunar, finally, because that's, like, everybody else is dead at this point. And Lunar just vanishes into the woods. I think this is after she... Oh, she's been collecting the wristbands and the swords of all these people the whole time. So she's like, "Yeah, I have all the powers now. And I need to get Lunars at some point, but I don't know where he is." And he goes, trains to the wood, and creates this crazy-ass sweet stored. It's a sword. No, he creates a sword with the power of darkness in it. That is a little bit more finesse and technical than his gigantic darkness blade. Oh my god, let me tell you, it's just like the sword from Final Fantasy VII, but it's even bigger and can hold twice as many stones. So anyway, we get to this point where he's killed her, runs away, and this is where the story basically takes off. He goes, lives in the woods somewhere. That guy doesn't get all the wristbands back, but he gets her wristbands, which, of course, Lunar left out of some sort of, oh, yeah, I'm going to leave this right here, because it's her thing, and I shouldn't tamper with that. And so the world goes for 1,000 years. The death guy is, well, nothing got finished. There's like 3 or 4 monsters that still roam the earth, and for 1,000 years they destroy everything in death. But the area around the center, there's a shrine for each beast, because of course this is planned to be like a Zelda Temple-style video game, so they're all based from a central point, which is the Temple of Unity, where all things meet. And the area around that has been preserved from the chaos and destruction. So there is a thriving community, a little port town, a little castle town for Solix, the Death Nation, and there's sort of a little preserved area right in the middle before the whole rest of the Earth, which is just completely annihilated and destroyed by the other powers. And that was me talking for a long time in a disorganized way, and maybe I can, I don't know, something. Here's some Harvey Mandel.